Watching all these videos on the 2023s, lots of people were noticing rust under their cars, right? I thought, well, my car shouldn't have any rust, should it? So I start crawling under the thing and I start looking around. Lo and behold, I've got some rust. Hey guys, Jared, Guys Talking Cars. Welcome back. We are back. And yeah, it's true. My 2023 Hellcat Redeye, sadly, she's gone. Let's talk about it right after we roll our new intro. All right, guys, so time came. It always does with cars, right? And for this one, I kind of was sitting actually getting my oil changed in another new car I'll talk about on a separate video. It's nothing to get too excited about. It's not the kind of car you're going to want to hear about, but we'll talk about it anyways, because this is Guys Talking Cars after all. You know, for the short amount of miles I put on the vehicle, and I kept them very low. There are some things I truly loved about that car. That supercharger whine, it is intoxicating. It's addictive. You take it out just to hear that whine. I don't care what kind of Hellcat you have. If you have that supercharger, nobody does it like Dodge. And boy, I love that. I love the way it drove on the road. Those 305s on all four corners, it just felt, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It felt locked in on the road, like you own the road. You know, it's big, it's heavy. It was unlike anything I'd driven before. It was really, truly unique. If you ever get a chance, just take one out. I'm not recommending you go spend $100,000, but hey, it is what it is. That acceleration, that torque, that power. Oh man. You just feel like you're being almost pushed. The power is so incredible. I mean, yeah, I'll miss all those things. Weirdly, I don't have any kind of like sentimental ties to the vehicle. I never got really like sentimental walking away from the car. A lot of factors played into this, so we're gonna go through them here. Why was it time? Before I get into all these reasons, because these reasons are sort of relatable to everybody else, but if you followed our story at all, you know, my son Jacob was in a car accident, and of course that altered a lot of things financially for the family. It altered a lot of things for what I have to focus on with my time. Hence, you know, we had to pare back the pace that we had set for releasing videos here on the channel. Right now, for all intents and purposes, I need cars that are very practical. I'm still gonna have fun cars, don't get me wrong, and so is Shane. And we're still gonna talk about all those cars. That's what we're really passionate about. But I need something that I can carry equipment around, that I can move around. So the Hellcat Redeye just, it wasn't really a usable car for me. You know what I mean? So let's get into this. So there was some driving anxiety around this car. And if you listen to Racer X's recent video where he got rid of his Demon 170, boy, I related to that, because every time you take the car out, you start thinking, how many miles am I going to put on this car today? How is that going to affect the value? Do I go ahead and just drive it? Do I care? Yes, I care. No, I don't care. Everywhere I would go with the car, there's also that weight over me of knowing that it's a high theft target. That's inescapable. The Hellcats are a target for thieves, no matter what you do to it. On top of that, I feel like when you own a car, you got to constantly read the market. And when I say it that way, I mean, like, read the room, right? And the room today is shifting. If you Google 2025 muscle cars, like one car comes up now. It's like, you know, the Ford Mustang, and that's it. As compared to 5-6 years ago, you had a lot of different choices in that sort of category. It's very limited right now. There's not a lot exciting me out there. That being said, the market has shifted. We've got a new administration in town. We've got emissions policies being rolled back. We've got manufacturing ramping up in the US. We've got incentives around that. And Shane and I have been talking about this. And if you think about it, any of these cars built prior to this time period, let's just call it 2025. Once the market gets ramped back up with fewer emissions issues, who knows, other things that choke back the performance of cars that won't be required to be on there anymore. Possibly. We may look back at these cars and say, these new cars are just better. You know, reliability should be increased. The performance should be increased. So again, read the market, right? Like, what's happening out there from a policy standpoint? What's happening out there from a manufacturing standpoint? Whether or not any of us are actually going to afford these new cars, because affordability of cars is a whole nother topic, and something that we'll talk a lot about, because spending $150,000 on cars that aren't necessarily built to last. There's a lot of discussion. If you watch a lot of YouTube videos like I do, a lot of discussion right now on, you know, the way cars are manufactured today as opposed to how they were built, say, 20 years ago. So some of the things that bugged me on my Charger that were just, you know, annoyances, and things that for $100,000 car, I don't necessarily expect, or, you know, kind of bug me. Dodge did some cheap outs on the 2023s. First off, inside the trunk, the rear trunk space, they eliminated one of the lights. One light, and they put those old school, you know, lights in there, not the nice new LEDs. So it's already kind of yellow and dim, and then it goes to one. It's like, what? Second of all, something that seems really common in all of the Chargers is the door lock, the little up and down door locks that pop up on the Chargers. They're like metal or a metal-like substance, and then the housing around them is also metal. Every Charger I've been in, if you hit the right road conditions, it vibrates. It vibrates, and you can hear it. And I thought it was just my Scat Pack, and then nope, it was also on my Hellcat. And then I got a Charger out one time traveling for work as a rental, and sure enough, there it was. So it's like in every Charger, it's like, what? I don't understand that. That shouldn't be something that is happening. Then one of the things that really bothered me is I took a buddy for a ride. He gets in and he goes to close the door, and the frickin' handle pops off, and he starts freaking out. He goes, looks over at me. He's got my door handle in his hand. I'm like, what? Took it into the dealership. Turns out they had to take the door apart. They didn't know what it was going to be, right? Turns out the 2 or 3 screws that hold the door handle housing into the door panel were never put in there. They were actually in the bottom of the door. So they just, in the manufacturing part, or the manufacturing process, they just got left out, or just fell through the door, and quality control was literally out the door. No pun intended. That annoyed me. Then the dents in my car. Quick summary. I took my car in for a car wash, and comes out, and I notice a crease in my car on the rear, above the rear quarter panel. So it's kind of like I guess you'd call it the C-pillar. And I was like, what is this? And then I noticed one also in the roof. There was like, it's just a depression. Whoa, what is this? Chased down a guy who'd been doing this for, he's like the Yoda of dent removals, because my car was PPF'd at that point. And once it's PPF'd, you really don't want to be putting hot glue and pulling dents. So this guy had a way of doing it without any hot glue, had a cold glue method or something. Anyways, he put it under the lights and found 6 freaking dents. We got this bad boy taken care of. Check this out. And I don't know how well this stuff shows up, but roof is perfect. And the sides are perfect. Interesting thing, this guy Ted, and I'm gonna put his information down below, found another dent here, found another dent here, and found 2 more dents. Actually, he said 3 along here. 1, 2, 3, just slight, subtle depressions. So all told, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 on the roof, 5, 6 all told. Now, I thought about it a lot, and I thought, geez, man, I've been taking my car to this really, really good detail shop, all my cars, for years. And these guys work on Lamborghinis and McLarens and all kinds of, Porsches, high-end cars. Never had an issue. What's more likely, that this high-end white glove shop put 6 dents in my car, or the car came that way from Dodge? And in the assembly process, guys and gals or whoever just leaning on the car, putting it together, and put creases in the car. I think it's option B, and I think that's what happened. A lot of pondering about that. All those dents in my car, that's ridiculous. That is rookie stuff. So I wasn't too happy about that. Finally, and I'm going to show some photos of this one. I was watching all these videos on the 2023s. Lots of people were noticing rust under their cars, right? I thought, well, my car shouldn't have any rust, should it? So I start crawling under the thing and I start looking around. Lo and behold, I've got some rust. And it's not just a little bit of rust, it's more rust than I would expect on a 6-figure car. I took it into Dodge. They had the SRT specialist mechanics in town the week that I took it in. So it kind of worked out well. Put it up on the rack and took a bunch of photos, and I have those photos. Now, they told me straight up, oh no, this is normal. This is not a warranty issue. We wouldn't replace these parts. We wouldn't. But I can tell you exactly where this car was made and when it was made. It was made in the winter, and it was made in Ontario. And sure enough, yep, that's where it was made. Because they drive the thing out of the factory right into the snowy parking lot where it sits until, gets on a truck, a train, whatever, and goes off to the dealership. And that's how the rust gets there. So that was annoying to me. And I was in deep conversations with somebody to put it up on a rack and do a dry ice clean job on it. But that's more money out of my pocket, and more money I got to throw at this car, which I'm not even sure I'm going to be spending much time in, given where the market is at. Finally, in my situation, with my family needs, having 6 figures sitting in the garage where I can't, feel great about just driving it on the daily or taking it places and enjoying it as much as I wanted to, got me thinking that maybe now's the time. And quite frankly, with Jacob's situation, I need something that can haul wheelchairs around, can haul ramps around, can haul equipment around. And that ain't it. So I came up with a strategy, and I'm going to share it in another video, of how to go about getting as much value as I could for my car. I think it's an interesting strategy. Talked it over with Shane a bunch of times, and he really liked it. So I'll save that for another video, because my goal was to try to get 6 figures of value out of this car, and nobody was going to give me $100,000 for this car. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, that's the direction I headed in. I'll share that on the next video, where I landed with that. But hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'm always going to keep my eye on the car market. I'm probably going to, zig while the market's zagging, so to speak, and continue to look at things like my Solstice. That's a 2006, much simpler car, super fun. I'm having a blast in that car, and I've done a few things to that car. I'll share that on another video as well. But having a blast with that thing, man. It is fun to drive. Had probably the best drive in my entire life. Taking that car down the twisties to Santa Cruz. Unbelievable. Top down, perfect weather. It was amazing. Anyway, that's the update for now. The Redeye is gone. I really don't feel any one way about it. I hope the next owner takes that thing out and enjoys the heck out of it. And quite frankly, has the financial wherewithal to not care about putting miles on it. Because while I can afford the car, and I did own the car outright, I'm also aware of how much it cost, and really not looking to turn a $100,000 car into a $50,000 car. So that's why I'm out of it. So can't wait to get back into it, guys. Shane and I are excited to pump back up our content, and I think we're entering into a really exciting era where manufacturers are pivoting away from EVs as a priority and bringing some common sense, where we have a choice. I don't feel like I should be forced into purchasing an EV. We're here in California, not sure for how long, but we're here in California for now. And some cooler heads are prevailing. We'll see. Crazy state for sure. But all right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you for being a part of the channel, for watching the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you would, and we will see you on the next one.